Alright guys, what is up? In today's video we're going to be discussing the hidden lore secrets from the new Archives teaser trailer. So if you're excited, make sure to drop a like on the video, and let's get started with this scene where Curious Light's in the background. It says, "The Archives, where forgotten memories go." And it's been widely theorized by the community that forgotten memories means all the scrapped entities that the developers have wanted to but have never had a chance to add to the game. And I have some proof of this. If we go over here, we can see this creature in one or two frames of the trailer that I never even saw in my first watch through, but I've been seeing in many other people's watch throughs now. He's a tall humanoid creature that has its face blacked out, and I think I know the reason why. You see, a little bit before this scene, the trailer zooms in on a whiteboard that has a Seek eye and a few boxes on it. I believe this is Seek's original scrap version. If you look up a picture of Seek's original scrap version, it's more like this with more curves on its body, and it's more like a weird humanoid structure. And I think the reason that the face is being blurred out or blacked out by these boxes is because they are trying to black out Seek's eye so we don't fully know that this is Seek's scrapped version. And I think the architects have been putting all their scrapped entities in the archives for lore. And another thing is this flower. I thought it had teeth at the bottom on the first, but if we zoom in on closer inspection, we can see that this is most definitely grass and outdoors grass. And with the moving vines, it looks like this forget-me-not flower creature was supposed to be some sort of branch of the world lotus, maybe something acting like dupe for the outdoors. If you go in the wrong door in the outdoors, maybe this would get you like dupe. I don't know. But it was obviously scrapped by the Doors developers, so even though this doesn't really fit in the archives, they've decided to add it because it is a scrapped entity. We also see from the thumbnail, I got these two frame pictures of this weird glowing monitor, and this seems to be the original, not this TV, but some sort of monitor here on top of these chairs. Of course, this summer, as you know, this summer starts on June 21st. So anytime after June 21st, which is a Sunday, I believe, is fair game. So maybe the archives will release the next Friday after June 21st, which would be June 26th or early July, is what I'm guessing for the archives release date. Now, of course, we have this TV is in this frame of the blue. You can see that it is on an in-game table, which means this TV will most likely be found in the actual archives. If you look at this other TV from before, there's some sort of thing under it that kind of looks like a VHS reader from like Poppy Playtime. So maybe there will be some sort of VHS tapes to do with this TV indoors. But yeah, here we go. Here's the pieced together picture I have of those two things. You can clearly see there's some sort of VHS tape in there. But I'm going to move on to something else really quick. Okay, so as you saw in the archives, there was a C number plate in the trailer instead of what we're used to in the original rooms, which is from A1 to A1000. But now it's going seemingly from C1 to however much. We saw about C48 or C49, I believe. So people have been theorizing maybe 50 doors. I don't know. But this was my idea. Maybe there are multiple sections of the archives because this is C, but this could mean it's just the C section of the archives. So of course we could start in the original A, which would be not the rooms, but something in the archives. Then we go to B1, C1. And I don't know how many there would be because that means there would be up to 26 different sections of the archives. If they each have 50 rooms, that would be very long. I don't know if there's going to be that many, but maybe there's like 3 or 4 different sections of the archives in there. A1 to A50, B1 to B50, C1 to C50, and D1 to D50, or something like that. And this could mean that the archives has a bunch of doors, and it might even be endless. I bet not, because the developers don't like adding endless modes to their game, but There is always an option, but that would be absolutely insane. If there was 50 doors and like 3 or 4 sections, that could be almost 200 doors in the archives. Or maybe it's a random amount of doors. Wouldn't that be so cool? And maybe I was thinking that there would be some sort of checkpoint every time. So you get a checkpoint once you enter the B section. You do the entire A section, then get a checkpoint. And then the C section, you get a checkpoint. That would just be really cool. But yeah, we've seen a lot of things today. We've seen a VHS monitor kind of thing that glows near some chairs. We've seen an outdoors World Lotus kind of flower entity and a scrap Seek entity, showing that the forgotten memories means the scrapped entities of past Doors updates. We've seen that the TV from the start of the trailer was actually on a table, but there's one more photo I want to point you guys towards that I found really interesting that I saw no one else talking about. Alright guys, I've just gotten 4 absolutely totally new photos for us to sink our teeth into. Let's go through all of them. First one is this hand that flashes on the screen for 1 second. It looks like some weird skeletal claw. Maybe Bob? I don't know. But, because Bob's nameplate was in the original rooms, but I'm not so sure if this is Bob. But, yeah. Still interesting nonetheless. Next, we have, of course, this. Again, I was going to show you. Here's the Seek Eye, what I think is a Seek Eye at least. And maybe some rooms showing how Seek Chase works. Maybe this is the developer's plans. I don't know. Seems kind of interesting to me. Then I have a video. As you can see in the background here, if you watch the top of the TV and the ceiling above the TV, there's a shadow that passes by the TV. Don't pay attention to the hand flickering on the screen. Just look at the top of the TV. Watch that shadow pass by the top. I think this is some sort of entity. I don't think this could be our player, but I guess some sort of shadow entity that would pass and walk right behind us. And then, of course, I just got this thing. Seek had a more bent down and mangled form, seeming way more twisted and broken than the current one. The eye was 2D and would keep flashing red. He was slightly taller than the current Seek. So basically this is what the wiki says about the scrap version of Seek. And if we go look at our picture about the scrap version of Seek, give me just a minute, that pretty much looks like what he's describing. And we can't see if his eye is flashing red here because it's blacked out. But yeah, I'd pretty much say that's our contender for scrap version of Seek. So yeah, that's all I've had for this video. Just wanted to put out a video for you guys today, talking more about the archives teaser and some lore implications, because we know this is going to have big lore setup for floor 3. So yeah, it's super exciting. Make sure to drop a sub if you did enjoy. But anyways, that's all for today, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.